And that nigga did it how I always wanted to do it, and I'll never be able to do it like that.
Hey, man, I saw an interesting post that I just want to comment on and talk about real quick before we get started with this show. One of the homies sent me something where he was saying, like, there's, like, levels to, like, descriptions. I think we did this with Billie Jean, where it's, like, rappers and how rappers move and how, like, wrestlers, like, what the comparison is. I think we even said that, like, one of the rappers was compared to, like, Drake or whatever, like John C. was Drake, something like that. What I think is really dope is that with that comparison, he did like basketball players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of them that I thought was like a great one was Miami LeBron 07 Cena. You feel me? You feel me? Feel me knocking. So now look, I don't want to go crazy. What up, Wrestling Matt? I don't want to go crazy about this or lose my mind, but I think that's fucking accurate. I think that's accurate. 07 Cena was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then somebody said Roman Reigns, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
They are being disrespectful.
How?
Giannis is not dominant in his class. He's not the most dominant. Roman Reigns has been the most dominant wrestler for the past 12 years on WWE.
I respectfully have to just. You think Giannis is dominant?
No.
I'd say Roman is LeBron because everybody wants him to lose, but he just keeps winning. And he's more of a villain. Cena wasn't a villain. Cena was a villain by the IWC.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that.
Prime Cena would be
Steph?
I want to say maybe Steph.
Clean cut.
I see where they're coming from because he's polarizing, but like I said, Cena wasn't trying to be a villain though. LeBron at some point kind of had to embrace that, kind of like how Roman had to embrace it.
Okay, what about and this one I really like. Brooklyn Kyrie is equal to or the same as 2011 CM Punk. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Brooklyn Kyrie though?
Don't sleep on Brooklyn Kyrie. Brooklyn Kyrie was crazy.
He's been on fire since he's been with Dallas though. Like
he's nuts. He's been going nuts.
He's more sound. He's balanced in Dallas. Brooklyn, he barely wanted to play. Like he had a whole season and a half.
I'm about to say that, bro. I'm about to say Tim on something. That dude was there for like 3 or 4 years. He played maybe a season.
But yeah, bro. But like
but Punk was carrying the company in 2011. Oh, come on, now that's disrespectful.
2010. Now that's why I like to bring it back to the Cena thing. If Cena's LeBron, let's just run with that for a second, right?
Right.
That's why I put this shirt on. Who is Randall Keith Orton in that same time frame then if he's 07 LeBron?
So look, and I'm glad you said something. So look,
D-Wade, because they both kept getting hurt.
09 ball-headed Randy Orton. Golden State KD. Yeah.
I would say D-Wade because they both were awesome in their prime, but they both kept getting hurt.
What year? What year D-Wade?
Whatever prime D-Wade. I'm saying they both were great in their prime, but they both kept getting hurt. Like Wade had this at one point. That's why LeBron took over that team because like his knees was giving out. He knew he couldn't keep going no more. Like how many shoulder injuries does Randy Orton had? How many back injuries? And that's what I'll compare it to because he was great, but he kept getting injured.
Heel Kevin in the building. What's up, big guy? King came in like always. What up, gang? Yo, okay. One more. Then we can get this motherfucker started, bro. Okay, one more. All right. So, 96, 98 HBK. 96 to 98 HBK before the back injury.
Okay.
Prime Allen Iverson.
No, he's disrespectful to Shawn Michaels.
What? He
Prime 96 to 98 Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, like prime Allen Iverson. Like,
are you talking about like the pound for pound thing in that comparison? Okay. Well, yeah, I can see that. But I'm just saying, if you would rank Shawn Michaels, he rank a lot higher in the wrestlers ranking than when you would rank prime AI. No offense to AI, but the dude's barely a top 5 2-guard probably.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I damn near wanted to call HBK MJ.
No, they said Stone Cold Steve Austin's MJ.
No.
You don't think Stone Cold Steve Austin's MJ?
No.
I do.
You're wild. You're wild. Who would be MJ if it's not Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I just told you.
Who?
Shawn Michaels.
I would say Stone Cold because he was a bigger box office draw.
Stop.
He was a bigger box office. He was a bigger box office draw during the time where WCW took all their stars, and he was the biggest box office draw during the whole Monday Night Wars.
Bro, he was crazy.
If we that facet of it, okay, I'll let you get that. I'll let you go with that.
But I'm just saying from all around,
overall,
yeah,
match quality, in-ring ability, showmanship, like Stone Cold got HBK on the mic. Don't get that confused at all. Like I'm not taking that away from Stone Cold.
Right.
But the rest of that. And this is coming from a Bret Hart guy. Like the rest of that, you kind of gotta get into Shawn Michaels.
I mean, but I think Stone Cold was closer to like when he wanted to. That's what they had him doing. I felt like Stone Cold was closer to Shawn Michaels as a wrestler than Shawn Michaels was to him as a talker, though.
I give you that because Stone Cold, when he was stunning Steve Austin, could definitely wrestle. When he was a part,
they just had him playing that role, right? But they just had him playing that role like he couldn't because whatever reason, that's what they wanted him to be, the tough guy, the brawler.
That's a good question.
I think okay. This is my thing. This is why I say that's so accurate. If I'm really looking at it from a standpoint where I'm like, yo, with Stone Cold Steve Austin's probably like one of the only guys in this like world that you can say Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I was like, hell yeah, I messed with it. Like the recognition where you recognize Michael, you recognize Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's why I see the comparison. Because even when you say Shawn Michaels, the hardcores are the ones that really like know about Shawn Michaels, and the ones that really know the art of wrestling know about Shawn Michaels. And I would say, like, if you're not in San Antonio, Texas, outside of that, and maybe outside of certain parameters, you might not know who Shawn Michaels is, but you know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin was Celebrity Deathmatch. Stone Cold Steve Austin literally was like with Bud Light and all type of other guys. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin was everywhere.
He had universal appeal. He had opportunities. He was one of the first to have opportunities outside of WWE. So I get all of that. I'm just thinking purely in ring. Just that was my approach to it, and that's why I said I'll give Stone Cold everything else. Like HBK never had that kind of appeal, universally. Same with Bret Hart. I was just sitting there as you were talking. I'm like, damn, like where would I put Bret? I'm like, I would have to say Bret is maybe a
Vince Carter.
Not even. I was gonna say somebody real sound and simple. I was gonna say like Tim Duncan.
I would say I agree with that.
David Robinson. Like so
just so I'm clear. Just so I'm clear.
That's just telling the fact. Like I adore Bret Hart. Y'all know that. So it's not like I'm dissing him. I'm just with the approach of this conversation where we're saying, okay, not Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold is the GOAT. He's MJ. So where in that grand scheme of things where would Bret Hart land in that?
But that's why I said
Bret wasn't, and I'm a Bret Hart guy, but if you heard one Bret promo, you heard them all. I'm just saying. So that's why I brought up like a Tim Duncan or David Robinson or somebody of that stature who's textbook basketball, where you're gonna night after night, what you're getting out of him. 20 and 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me go and give you your intro because that's specific for you. That way, segue. Boom.
It's Big Oos, Old Man Logan, acknowledging.
never get. I just. But
Dr. James Chappelle, yeah.
I just had to, man. That's what it made me want to do, man. But tonight I have to unearth and reveal yet again another nickname. This night, Mr. 4K. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know why my name is 4K now. Okay. Big 4K. All right.
All right.
Thank y'all for following. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to @O_man_Logan_Inc., where you will see my shenanigans and things that I like, but you'll also see all of the wonderful, wonderful things that I'm a part of, like this here bloodline known as Hot Take Wrestling.
Yeah. Hold on, KG. I got you, big guy.
It's the ginger whiskey assassin, the other KG. Hashtag, y'all gotta chill.
Great side profile of KG. Great side profile, bro. Great fucking picture, bro. Go ahead, man. Talk to people.
Oh, thank you, sir. And it's hard to stay humble with these introductions. That's all I gotta say, man.
Did it, bro. You know, build confidence, build self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? Build this up as we grow. You know what I mean? You know, allows us, if you will, to be on another tangent. You feel me?
It's Toxic Jose, Joe Freelon. He's so toxic.
I am the toxic one. I am the one they call Mr. Imaginary Soapbox, aka Mr. Why would you say that? I am the toxic one for a reason, because my opinion does not matter, but I'm going to say it anyway. Now, fellas, had a whole week in wrestling, had some things coming up, had a whole pay-per-view, baby. You know what time it is already?
And now, your week in review.
Oh, yeah. It feels good. Feels good. You got to keep saying it. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep saying it. KG, take us there, baby. Talk about the week in review. Let's go.
All right, let's go for real.
Yes,
in case you were up at 4 a.m, Central Time, you know, I feel sorry for the people that was up at 2:00. They was out late night drinking and then watched Elimination Chamber.
I was up, and I did a live on TikTok and had like 300 people in there. Shout out to that. Thank you.
Shout out to you for doing that. Yeah, I didn't catch it till Sunday morning. I avoid all spoilers, thankfully. But I would say, I think we all kind of saw what was going to happen before the Chamber, but it still was a decent event. It didn't blow my mind. You know, Becky came out as the winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber match, becoming the number one contender to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40, even though they just gave her the main event. But I will say, I was a little bit surprised they let it come down between Liv and Becky. I was surprised Liv getting that push that hard so fast. I definitely thought it was either going to be Becky and Bianca or Becky and Tiffany Stratton. I was surprised she went out of the chamber so early as well. It still was a pretty good showing for all women, especially that swanton that Tiffany did off the top of the chamber was insane. And then the tag title match was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm surprised by it. They did look like for a second that Judgment Day was going to lose, but then all of a sudden, you know, they put the swerve on us, because I definitely thought for a second till Priest hit that broke up that pinfall after the bitter end. I was like, oh, are they actually going to do it? The men's chamber, somebody was like, AJ was so petty. He said that man flew all the way to Australia just to attack LA Knight. Oh, man. So, you know, Drew McIntyre came out victorious there. For a second, I thought Logan was right. I said, oh, maybe Orton is going to get the south side. No, the next thing I know, Logan Paul knocks this man out cold, clocks him with the brass knucks. I said, oh, no. I was hoping a higher spot for Orton on the card. I understand how big of a following Logan Paul has on social media. So it looks like we're probably going to get a triple threat between those two and KO. going into Mania. And everybody's finishing the story. Even Dixie Carter's finishing her story. You know why? Because now we're going to get AJ and LA Knight. Impact. Big stage on WrestleMania for Impact.
It's a throwback right there.
Yeah, for sure. Eli Drake and AJ Styles. And then congrats to Rhea being able to main event in her home country. Pretty good match. I'm not, as I on here, I'm not the biggest fan of Nia Jax, but it's a good showing for both women for sure. And the biggest takeaway, I think the biggest talking point was, Cody challenged The Rock to a match. At some point, I don't know, it's going to be, what do they have? That's going to be on the Rock show, maybe? We're going to see Rock on SmackDown because, they ain't no other pay-per-views or premium live events before WrestleMania 40. So, and
so no Fastlane this year.
Oh, you know what? Is it their Fastlane? If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. You might be right.
Is there a Fastlane this year?
You know what? They didn't announce one though. They just keep pushing WrestleMania. So you might be right though. I could double check. I could fact check. I just know WrestleMania is 5 weeks from Sunday, so that is enough time to do one more. But I just don't know what they would do with that.
Oh, this Trips we talking about though. He probably not gonna even do that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Because what do you got to build towards? You could build it around just Cody and Rock, but maybe you could do some filler matches. You could do like, you could do the two challengers. You could do Bayley and Becky versus Rhea and Io. I don't know, because at that point you're kind of spitballing. What do you really have to do? Judgment Day says they want all the titles. Dirty Dom about to get chopped up by Gunther. There's a talking point for Raw. But no, it looks like they're going to do a multi-man match because a lot of people throwing their names in the hat. I'm not mad at that because Gunther doesn't really have too many singles opponents left where they could showcase them. Plus, Raw has so many talents right now. It's just kind of difficult to leave somebody on the outside looking in. So it looks like maybe we're going to get Gunther versus Dominic versus Sami versus Chad Gable. Because I'm pretty sure Judgment Day is defending the tag titles, maybe in a 4-way. Because Imperium and New Day had a hell of a street fight on Monday night.
Right.
So maybe New Day's on the outside looking in. Maybe you get Imperium, DIY, Awesome Truth, and Judgment Day maybe. Or maybe you just get a straight triple threat. Because it seems like DIY was going to be involved at some point because they keep having a beef for Judgment Day as well. Rhea and Becky had a great exchange to build up to their match. So I'm interested in seeing who is going to main event night one between those two, and Seth and Drew had a pretty good exchange. He was saying how stay out of the Bloodline's business. I don't want them to take my victory because they're going to interfere if you don't stay out of their business.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't catch much of Dynamite tonight. I saw they had a trios match between Blackpool Combat Club, I think FTR and Andy Kingston. So, because Revolution's coming up actually this Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, that's this Sunday. And that trios match was good. It was very good. I did tune in for that.
So, yeah, I've we don't, because it was funny because people said before we praised AEW too much. It's like it's flipping the balance. The scales has been flipped. I mean, it's hard pressed for me to say that anything AEW is doing outside of Swerve and Tony Storm is more interesting than anything in WWE right now. It's hard pressed for me to say outside of those two, because even though I don't put a lot of stock in the Wrestling Observer, they just as much as we trash that. Guess what got voted worst feud of the year?
What was that?
MJF versus the Devil.
I mean, it was lackluster.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense at all. We could have got to that story. We knew what that was from it was just so amateur. Yeah. It was amateur hour,
Yeah.
And that just comes from, I can't say lack of not having veteran, because he has veteran talent there that can help cultivate these stories and make them, engaging. Like I was just getting ready to say that about Dynamite. Like, I don't think Swerve was on tonight. I didn't catch all of Dynamite, but that trios match, for example. AEW is hanging on by a thread right now by the de facto WWE guys. Like, that match was very sound. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, and even Eddie Kingston was at the Performance Center. I was like, man.
Yeah.
this match is awesome, and all these guys are ex WWE guys.
Yeah, 5-6 out of 83% of the people in the match.
You know,
I think. Shout out to Ghost Head Nerd Talk Podcast. Shout out to She Talks Wrestling Podcast as well. Thank you guys for joining us. I think that as it pertains to the storyline, they had the buildup. I think King Kim said the best. The payoff was trash, but the buildup was actually decent. Like they had us when we were talking about like, oh, it could be anybody. That could be what's his name, Jungle Boy. It could be Jack. It could be somebody else. But then after a while, I was like, all right, it's Adam Cole. Let's move on from here.
Mm-hmm.
Like crossbody work. What's up?
I thought it was Adam Cole from the start, though. Like, I never deviated and thought it was anybody else. Like, it would have been interesting for me, and this would have been just a fresh take on doing such a thing. You could have had Britt Baker as the devil.
I can see that.
It could have literally been just like, you never gave him a chance in the third or whatever, some other stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
I am noticing that this is Sting's Final Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Are we watching Revolution, or is anybody streaming Revolution? She Talks. Are you streaming Revolution on Discord?
We're gonna ask if anybody was doing it.
Anybody doing it? I don't know, but yeah, if it does happen, we'll let you guys know. Honestly, I think that the triple threat match with Samoa Joe should be good. I think that should be a good match with Hangman Page and Swerve. I think that'll be a good match. I don't think he's going to win it. I think it's going to be Samoa Joe for a while because he's just such a good champion. But
he is.
But I think that when I sit and watched Elimination Chamber, I noticed two things. Liv Morgan came to wrestle, and she was fired. And also Tiffany Stratton's a star. The best match thus far that we've had, the best match that we've had thus far in reference to that match with me were the women, and the women were spectacular. I was a big fan of that. I think even in my live, people were excited about everything. I thought that the whole thing with the men's match had to happen the way it happened. So for everybody saying, "Oh, the men's match was okay, it was mid," no, it was a storyline match, bro. It was set up that way. Like that's how they wanted it. That they want to be able to create a narrative with whatever the storyline is. Like we can't sit here and be like, "Oh man, no, there was nothing crazy that happened." Yeah, there's plenty of stuff that crazy that happened. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton, whenever that happens, is gonna be fire. AJ Styles versus Eli Drake 2 or LA Knight now is gonna be lit. Like it's gonna be great. Tripp's not gonna let what Vince did with Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles happen again, because that was just like a total clusterfuck of terrible shit. So now we get something that's gonna be good. Oh, no triple threat. Hangman is injured. Okay.
Oh, Hangman. And then,
yeah, I didn't.
Well, that's still gonna be a good match, Swerve, and unless they replace him with somebody.
No, they won't, because they don't. God, I don't want to sound like an AEW hater, bro. Because I like AEW. I don't want to sound like a hater though.
Because I can see them putting somebody in there right quick. Now, who they put right in there, I don't know, but I mean, Will Ospreay is on the card. He's facing Takasha, I think is his name. Takasha. Right? He's facing him at a Revolution, but I don't know.
I mean, it was Revolution will be solid. Revolution will actually be very good.
That's some matches, yeah. Now here's a little bit of unspoken truth for me. This run with Samoa Joe as champ over there at AEW, it's kind of led me down the rabbit hole to imagine what could have been going on with this whole tribal chief bloodline thing in the land of WWE had he still been there.
Oh, keep going, bro. I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I was just kind of, because that's the feud I was really waiting on: Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns for the tribal chief, the throne of the tribal chief. Like I don't know if Samoa Joe's lineage goes down that tree that The Rock showed at the conference, But just he's Samoa Joe. He's Samoan. It fits. You could put him in any way, shape, or form. Anyway,
I think
and it was going to be.
I think he was disowned. He's like a cousin that's disowned. Something like that. Let's say something like that. Shout out to Us Podcast World. What's up, y'all? Navy Montel. Shout out to Navy Montel. What up? What up now? Navy Montel. What's up now?
Navy checking us out. Yeah.
Checking us out. What's up, man? What's up, Unc? Good to see you, boy. I love you. But I think the reason why we didn't get Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns is a simple thing. Number one, Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns prints money, but the guy that was doing it was like, but I want Roman Reigns to go over. No, fuck that, bro. No, it's got to be destructive, mean ass Samoa Joe. And you can use chicanery and shenanigans to get like Roman over, but at this point, like you got to run it back twice. Like it can't be just like, oh, yo, like, let's do Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. Roman wins clean. Oh, no, hell no.
Yeah, no clean. Yeah,
no. You gotta do a storyline. You gotta make it work.
But it's some rumblings of some signings that have taken place.
Tell me you saw NXT. Tell me you saw it. Tell me.
Well, yeah, that was something I wanted to discuss with y'all. Once we got to the round table, some people that have come back. I'm noticing a trend there, man. I am noticing a trend.
I think we'll get into it in a little bit. Other than that, though, I want to say something. You know what? We can do it at the round table. I think we can do it around the round table.
We can do it at the round table. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We can do it. All right. Okay. All right. Lisha in the building. What's up now? Like our former WCW. Lisha
okay, the WCW is checking in. Okay.
I ain't Lisha. Oh my God.
Hi, Lisha. Oh, she looking good on that picture.
I ain't Lisha. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The tribal chief says hello.
Lisha. Lisha. Oh my God. It's you. Let's get into this heated round table right fast, man. Get this over with and get all these arguing stuff going. This is gonna be fun. I'm excited about this. Give me more shit. Oh, do I even got it no more? I don't think I got it no more. Oh no, I lied.
Ooh, the round table's getting heated. Heated round table.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Real quick. All right, real quick. In regards to shout out to Lonzo, what's up, big boy? In regards to the signings that have happened this week. All right, there's two signings that interest me. One is Tama Tonga from New Japan, who's going to before they signed with WWE. Two, Shawn Spears signed with WWE as an NXT. Hi, Ms. Vicky, good to see you. Which
who is also formerly known as come on,
the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I see why you made me do that. Okay.
You see, you got it.
I get it. Yeah. Great. Now look, I don't want to show my cards onto the chest real fast, but I'm not gonna lie to you. When Tama Tonga said he was going to sign with WWE, my first thought was him and Roman Reigns got into it on Twitter like 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago. Okay, long time ago.
It was the start. It was the start of the whole Tribal Chief run, right?
Yeah. Like way before that, when Roman was like the big dog.
So it was prior to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like the big dog, and then I don't know if you guys know that's what's his name, son? Haku's son. All right. So, initially with all the things that happened with Tama Tonga, in my opinion, I've seen Tama Tonga wrestle Kenny Omega. He's a 4-time openweight champion at New Japan, multiple tag team champion with, I think his cousin or his brother, one of the two.
It's his cousin, but I think he's adopted as his adopted brother too, though.
Okay. And I think it's one of those things where it's more so the beginning of something really good at this point. The Sean Spears thing I'll get into because I think Sean Spears' lineage and what he's done in NXT and WWE is just a good locker room and a good just storyline side because now he's in AEW, so he knows how they work. He's finna come over there, cook, and give them like small little stuff or whatever. I'm excited about that. What do you guys think about those two signings?
You want to go first, KG?
The Sean Spears signing is pretty interesting from a standpoint. It gives NXT a little bit more validity because eventually they're about to start losing people to the main roster, obviously. Braun Breakers, even though they just put the tag titles on them, I don't think that's just like a transitional run, I feel like. And brings up potential feuds for Ilya Dragunov because I don't know how long Melo's going to stay down there. I'm pretty sure he's about to get called up to the main roster at some point as well. This might be his swan song for a feud. Also, potentially with the Tama Tonga signing, now is one of those things. Are you going to align him with the Bloodline somehow, or is he going to feud against the Bloodline somehow? Because maybe that's a written-in feud for Roman after he drops the title, because more than likely he is. At this point, if they don't pull the trigger, you might as well just like, I don't know who beats Roman. That's all I'm getting at. I haven't not seen a lot of him. I know he talks, basically, I know that much. So, but in terms of in-ring, Joe's way more familiar with him than I am. But I just like the fact that they're going out and finally getting somebody to make a kind of a splash at, like no affiliations with a big-time American promotion, even though Impact was like, compared to, but it still was on a TV at one point, Impact was. And they signed some former Impact guys like AJ, Samoa Joe, LA Knight, and those guys. And so that's the thing that stands out to me. This is one of the first times since Shinsuke where they got like a New Japan guy. And so that was like 8 years ago. So it kind of speaks volumes that somebody chose WWE finally. That's kind of how I feel about this, honest.
I agree with a lot of the points KG just made. I'm really looking forward to this Tama Tonga signing. I don't know a whole lot about him in ring, in terms of his New Japan run and stuff. But I know with them type of signing, those guys, for them to leave the freedom that they have to like go back and forth between New Japan and whatever indie promotions they do spot dates or whatever at, or like KG brought up Impact, they go to Impact for a hot cup of coffee and go back to New Japan. I feel like a storyline discussion had to be, said for such a signing to take place. I don't think he just says, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and go to, the WWE now. Like, nah, I think that was a thing where it says, hey, let's sit down. Let's see what happens within this timeline potentially if I come here. How long do I sign for? I think WWE signs guys for what, 2 to 3 years? They don't do the 5-piece like a TK. So, what could you do to, especially if you want to prolong the lifespan of the bloodline and freshen it up at the same time, by adding new faces, completely new faces. A lot of people won't be familiar with Tama Tonga. That's just a casual fan of WWE that don't know about the wrestlers outside of that bubble. That's why, for me personally, I was really hoping Will Ospreay would have came to WWE as well, because, like Joe pointed out, he had a war of words back and forth with Seth Rollins, but maybe 2 years ago about the whole best in the world thing, and
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that would have been a great, pairing to finally see too. I think it would have been some good matchups for him there as well. But I'll be honest, at the time I could see maybe, if with the Vince thing, maybe not wanting to come to WWE, but with this being Triple H's baby and him running the boat, I think Will Ospreay would have did great there. But neither here nor there. He's in AEW now. But I am definitely looking forward to what could possibly happen with both of these guys. Sean Spears, he had a great feud with Cody in AEW. And AEW, it just seemed like he had that feud and he had a little momentum. He was with Pinnacle for a second and he was the chairman the chairman, and I thought he was gonna get at least to the TNT title picture, and that was just kind of it. He just kind of faded away, But with him, his signing also makes me wonder if some iconic women may make a return after this pregnancy is over. Because
I forgot about that. You're a brilliant
yeah.
genius, bro. You're a freaking genius. You're a
So
genius.
that and NXT has to kind of be a third brand that's viable now. You know what I mean? So you signing veteran talents. Plus we just saw the Good Brothers on NXT on Tuesday. So and they were looking great on there. And it's just kind of like, yo, let's utilize this talent that we're not really using on Raw or on SmackDown. Let's put them over down there on NXT. Like Kenny pointed out, that leadership, that veteran presence that can help shape and mold these guys and girls that are down there now to be tomorrow's stars. And that's how you end up with Tiffany Stratton. That's how you end up with bronze,
All right. For those of you that don't know about Tama Tonga, okay, I want you to think of a Big E with speed, more agility, that just moves quickly and has an amazing neck breaker. That's the best way that I can do it. Is he Big E size? No, but he's a bigger guy. If you need context of what Tama Tonga brings to you in ring, go watch highlights of Tama Tonga versus Kenny Omega, New Japan. If you need views of his personality, go watch on YouTube. Go to Tama Tonga's highlights from New Japan. He's been there for 14 years. They have literally put championships on there. He's been in like every Wrestle Kingdom. He was in the G1 class, G1 tournament or whatever. He's part of the Bullet Club. Now, this is the thing about this. Let's just say they move away from the whole AJ Styles thing of him being part of the Bullet Club, right? Let's just say, just for purposes of all purposes unknown, let's just say they just say, you know what? Screw Judgment Day. Let's just throw it all together. And let's just say this lone wolf thing doesn't work out with AJ. What happens if you put AJ Styles, the Good Brothers, Tama Tonga, and Finn Balor together? You think you're not gonna get like a Bullet Club now or a new club, whatever? You think you're not gonna get that? I'll plug them in the Discord. I'll plug those in the Discord. If you guys want more information on Tama Tonga, I will plug the links in Discord. Do you realize like now, Cody's set up to win the championship two ways. One, let's just say you want Tama Tonga on the main roster, to kind of make a splash or whatever. What happens if he helps Cody win and he was like, oh yeah, Cody was in Bullet Club when I was in Bullet Club. Boom. Who's Cody's first appointment that he had back in AEW? Shawn Spears. Let's just say you don't want them involved at all in the first place or whatever. You don't want them involved, whatever. What can Shawn Spears do? Apparently, Shawn Spears allegedly is supposed to be working with Bo Dallas and his new faction. Chef's kiss. And Joe Gacy is supposed to be part of that too. Chef's kiss. What if you just have Tama Tonga and the Good Brothers run Rec Shop in NXT? More of a chef's kiss. Bro, Shawn and Trips have so many weapons now at this point that there's not a lot that you can really say or do because you can move them. You can't fail with Tama Tonga if you let him be himself. Don't tone him down. Don't have him talk too much because he is a vulgar guy. He's not mixed by his feelings. He beat up Enzo Amore. He beat him up. Like he physically beat him up. They were supposed to have a match. Enzo didn't want to do the match. Tama Tonga saw him backstage. Whooped his ass. Like that's the type of guy Tama Tonga is. All right. I got into a debate this past weekend, and I wanted to bring it to the round table. Someone said that Sting is better than The Undertaker. Thoughts, gentlemen? Your thoughts.
Did they expound on what they thought made Sting better? I'm just curious.
The ideals of it were just more so that he's had more championships. Ideally, he's had to carry the company more longer, had to be the man more than Undertaker has, and ideally, he's had better matches than the Undertaker. So that was their basis of it. Now, I argue for the Taker side of it, and I'll give my point about that thereafter, but I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on it.
I'm gonna be quick, so I'll go first, KG. I'm not gonna take anything away from Sting. Sting was the face of WCW for a very long time. He was one of the main faces, one of the pillars, let's just say that, of WCW. As was one Undertaker. Undertaker, however, is revered and chosen by the greats, the legends before him that say, hey, you know what? You can't say a Mount Rushmore without saying Mark Calloway. Now, that's his government name, for those of y'all that don't know. But a one Ric Flair said that. Gentlemen, am I correct there? I just want to make sure I'm not giving.
That's correct.
Okay. Ric Flair said that. All right. Enough said. There is no discussion to be had. Undertaker did what was necessary in the WWE. When it was his time to be the face, guess what he did? He was the face. Undertaker was even Undertaker on the show Poltergeist, people. Go back. Yeah, that just dated me. That tells you how old I am. But yeah, you go back and look on YouTube. You'll find the Undertaker on a show called Poltergeist. It was on Fox. Full Undertaker gear and everything. This was 97, 98 Undertaker. Anyway, the man, the myth, the legend, the mystique of this particular character that has lived for over 30 years. Sting has had many, many, many incarnations of himself. It took him to get to that Crow to really have a iteration of him that sustained somewhat of a similar timeline and fashion. And he even had to give that credit to one Scott Hall, rest in peace.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah. So, King Cayman talking about statistics. Sting is better. Aura and personality. Undertaker is better. That is King Cayman's thoughts, guys. But yeah, man. So, while I won't negate Sting's contributions to the world of professional wrestling, I just simply say I disagree. Undertaker is better, and KG, Stat Guy Kenny. Let's hear it, brother.
I would say Undertaker has been more versatile with his character, and for a while he was a dead man. Then he was the American Badass. He was always, like I said, he's just a little bit more versatile. It was nothing against Sting as far as personality wise. Like you said, he didn't really find his niche until he became the Crow. Well, at least in that era, in the '80s, he was at his peak in the late '80s when him and Flair and Vader were running WCW. I will say,
let me jump in real quick. Was he Ultimate Warrior Jace?
I was gonna bring that up, but at the same time, I feel like we know who's a more well-rounded competitor by far. It was not even close, but I would say that. Well, they kind of grew up training together, didn't they?
I mean, they were a tag team together. Yeah, they were
okay.
Together.
Not that, okay. I was making sure to fact check for myself. I will say later on in Taker's prime, he did have better dancing partners though, because WCW, if you think about it, they were more about personalities in terms of the guys who were getting World Heavyweight Championship pushes. Taker had some better dancing partners. He had HBK, he had Kurt Angle, he had Trips, he had Stone Cold, he had Rock, he had Mankind. Yeah, I said Kurt Angle. That was, and then Jericho. I mean, they didn't really get into. Actually, they kind of didn't have much of a feud towards the tail end of their careers. When I tail end of Taker's prime, should I say? Because Jericho's still going. So from that aspect, I just think Taker was more versatile personality wise. In ring wise, I would probably give it to Sting, obviously, but it's only so much you can do until you hit your peak as a babyface, and you have to reinvent yourself. I mean, we got Wolfpack Sting, but that's because Bischoff wouldn't let the NWO stuff go. I don't even know. Sting with the red face.
What was the point? Don't you do that.
Yeah.
Don't you do that. I saw you, Old Man Logan. Don't you do that. Don't you do that, Old Man Logan. Don't you do that.
That's all he did in the Wolfpack. Woo!
Look, man, I'm not gonna hold you. All right. So if you're saying that Sting is better than The Undertaker, I think that is a fabricated and misinformed opinion. And I'm not saying that based off of like me not watching TNA and watching the brand. I'm saying like they got TNA. They got TNA on YouTube, bro. They got Impact on YouTube. And
now I will say I didn't see Main Event Mafia. Now I will say that, so I can't speak to that. So we just WCW Sting.
I think TNA Sting. Excuse me. Let me one second. Bro. TNA Sting. I do think much like how a lot of people say TNA got prime Kurt Angle or a close like second to what Kurt did in WWE. Like he did some stuff over there in TNA. Like so, Sting is no different. He had a lot of great matches over there in TNA that kind of went unseen because TNA never had like that prime time, spot, or they couldn't sustain it in the same capacity as like a WWE. But that Joker Sting run, which was I think his last run in TNA before he went to WWE, it was some money. It was a chance to see Sting do some like goofy, silly kind of out of character stuff for him. But yeah, I digress. Continue, Toxic Jose.
And I'm about to be toxic. I listen. There's no way that Sting will ever be better than Undertaker, accolades and in-ring wise. There's no way. And the reason why there's no way about that is just because Undertaker has two of the best matches in like wrestling history. And yes, it's with Shawn Michaels. But you can even say, Sting versus AJ Styles is comparable.
No, but Sting had some 5-star matches against Ric Flair though. So
he did. In the 80s and 90s, early 90s, he was cooking. But The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, both times, fantastic 5-star matches. That was wrestling. That was wrestling, bro. Like that was it. Listen, Sting's impact for all that's worth or whatever was amazing. But without Scott Hall, we forget Sting because he doesn't change his gimmick. Sting doing the Joker thing for the most part. Without Batman, we still see Crow Sting. The Undertaker evolved into being the character where he was like a decorated, aggressive mortician to all of a sudden being a beer drinking, motorcycle riding American badass to being to that same thing, whatever. But it was one of those things where the Undertaker was a pillar, but never really needed to be the man. He already was. Sting had to at least be close to or be the man everywhere he had to go in the first place. Sting couldn't take a backseat. And it wasn't because he was that good. It's because everybody kept putting him in that light. Undertaker was that good. Undertaker didn't need a lot. Undertaker had fire riders with edge. And this is like not even focused physically in great shape edge. Okay. He had great match with Bret Hart that people forget to talk about, that people don't talk about it well. He had a great match with Stone Cold Steve Austin before, even concussed. He had a great match with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Bangers with Triple H. Had a hell of a street fight with Ric Flair. People forget that the streak was one of those things where WWE decided on our biggest spectacle, you're going to win every time because we believe in you that much.
Say that one more time. What's that called? What was that thing called?
Spectacle.
The spectacle. Yeah. What's the spectacle called?
The streak. Does
Sting have a streak?
No, he doesn't. Listen, Sting is a 14-time champion, TNA, NWA, and WCW. That's great. But like the streak, like people say, the streak is one of those things where like it's wrestling, it's choreographed. They decided 21 times in a row that this man had to go over. This streak was so good. This streak was so good that people wanted to lose to this man to be a part of it. CM Punk was told, "Hey man, you can go ahead and do it if you want to. You just go ahead and the streak." No, I'm good. Ed, same thing. No, I'm good. Shawn, same thing. No. No. People don't want to break this streak because it means that much to the biggest spectacle in the world, bro. Sting has that aura, and he's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to see him run for his last match in Revolution. It's long overdue. He's 60 plus. This has to end at some point. He has to go on and move on from this. Sting is 60. He just turned 61 just now.
No, I would argue because it does take two to tango. But once again, I mean, and I'm saying this is no knock on Taker, but Sting got Hogan way past his prime. So you couldn't even argue heel Hogan was a thing where it's like, okay, Sting could have made that interesting. Taker got Hogan in his prime. Granted, Taker was at the time the youngest WWE champion ever, but I mean, Hogan was still borderline prime Hogan. So it's like fans are starting to turn on him, but I don't know. It's just hard to argue against Sting because of the fact that he really didn't have no one to cook with outside of Flair and Vader. Yeah, Lex Luger.
Perk Kurt and TNA, bro.
I thought we were just talking about WCW run.
No, the whole career, bro. Whole career
in entirety.
Whole career in its entirety.
Well,
technically, I didn't see Impact or CNA run, so I can't speak to that aspect. But
since Brock Lesnar's kind of he who remains, we don't say his name anymore.
No,
isn't Undertaker 22-0 now?
No, because he lost to Roman too.
Okay, so 22-1.
23-1.
23-1.
Yeah, and we're gonna play this song for you because that was very rude of you to say in the first one. This is for you.
Wait a minute.
No.
First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said. Wait a
You said it wasn't laid openly. Number one, yes, obviously they're taking him out because they realize that he got some things on him and some stuff on him. Okay. All right, but still, now, damn it, let's not lose our minds here. Look,
if I swear to God, if WWE starts saying 23-1, they heard it here. They heard it here. You will know for a fact they listen to Hot Take Wrestling. I have yet to hear anybody else, and I'm talking about the top of the top of wrestling podcasts. I'm talking about Busted Open. They ain't even said it yet. If they start saying 23-1, you know where they got it.
Listen, Brock Lesnar, freaky self, got himself in some trouble, and he got himself in trouble. But he broke that streak, bro. And I'm not gonna take that.
Wait, so what? We only count actual in-ring matches because he would be 24-1 then, wouldn't he?
With AJ?
Because the Boneyard match.
What they counted? It's a WrestleMania match, so it got to count.
They counted it. Like if you look on his wiki page, they counted. They counted. No, and at this point, bro, like if we're being frank about it, listen. I get it. You gotta get rid of the stuff that's hurting your company, but that's Brock.
Wait,
hold on. Wait, he beat 25. Wait, he beat 25-1 then, because he was 21-0 when he lost to Brock.
He was 21-0. Yeah,
he beat Bray. He beat Shane.
22-1.
He beat John Cena.
Yep.
And then he beat AJ.
Yep.
So 25-1.
They got him as 23-2 on Wiki. He's 23.
So they just erased because it wasn't a full-on match, but it's still he beat John Cena. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a full-on match.
No, they're counting that, bro. They counted all.
So wait. So if it's 20, so which one they not counting? Because he beat Bray, that would be 22. He beat Shane.
He only lost to Roman and Brock, right?
Yeah. So that's 4.
They said
so
no,
two they not counting?
2.
Which 2 they not counting?
Oh, I'm saying that they're not going to count Brock's anymore.
No. Which wins they not counting? Because he was 21-0. He was 21-0.
21-0 when he faced Brock. He lost
then
to
he
Brock.
beat Bray.
22-1. Okay.
No. He beat Punk before Brock.
No. I'm saying that 21-1 is when he lost to Brock, right?
Right.
Who was the next year? Bray?
Bray.
Okay, so he beats Bray. 22-1. Now who was
then he lost to Roman.
Okay. 22.
No, he beat wait. No, he beat Shane at WrestleMania 32 Hell in a Cell.
All right,
23-1.
Here we go. 1, Jimmy Snooker. 2, Jake Roberts. 3, Giant Gonzalez. 4, King Kong Bundy. 5 Diesel, 6 Psycho Sid, 7 Kane, 8 Big Boss Man, 9 Triple H, 10 Ric Flair, 11 is A-Train and Big Show, 12 is Kane, 13 is Randy Orton, 14 is Mark Henry, 15 is Batista, 16 is Edge, Shawn Michaels is 17 and 18, Triple H is 19 and 20, CM Punk is 21. All right, that's where we are.
21.
So,
Brock Lesnar.
y'all right. Y'all right. 21 and 1 is Brock. They'll get rid of that. So he's 22 and 0. Bray Wyatt.
Well, he didn't beat him, no.
We're not going to count it. They won't count it because they're getting rid of him.
Right. There is
so
no
means he's 21 and 0 then. Okay.
There's no mention of if he who remains is not mentioned, then the match never happened.
So he's 21 and 0 then still.
Right.
To that point.
To that point.
So that means he beats Bray, he's 22 and 0, beat Shane 23 and 0, lost to Roman 23 and 1, beats John Cena, beats AJ Styles 25. So he's 24 25 and 1. If they keep this going the way that
and again 25 and 1. If you hear it, the good people that are tuning in, if you hear them say this, you know where they got it from. And tell them to acknowledge us. Okay? Tell them to acknowledge us.
Listen, Undertaker being 25 and 1 is crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Undertaker being 25 and 1 is wild.
Now, what is Sting's record at Starrcade?
I don't know, bro. Like, it's not even up there. Like, it's not even, bro. It's not even. When you look up Sting,
I'm just being facetious when I say that. I'm not
accomplishments to everything else, bro. All right,
yeah.
Let me move on to something a little more serious that we all have to.
They won the Monday Night Wars and they still wouldn't let Sting go over at WrestleMania.
I was just gonna say that, man. Vince was just petty, man. Vince would not let us get our damn Undertaker versus Sting match.
That too.
But how would that match have even? They're both okay. All right, okay. Hear me out.
That match could have been just like that was before the COVID, so you could have had him versus Undertaker when you had him versus Triple H. Him versus Triple H was unnecessary because as much as I love Triple H, was Triple H ever really looked at as? Well, no, I can't say
he missed the whole invasion angle.
Yeah, so it's like.
It's not his fault he tore his quad.
Nobody was clamoring for Sting versus Triple H. Nobody.
Okay, this is the thing. This is the thing about this whole thing. If we're not getting them in their prime, the match does not matter. And I say that with the utmost respect because, as we all know, one, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is slated to be at SmackDown March 1st. Okay. This Friday. Now, it might be another bad Versace shirt with Tom Ford glasses or Versace glasses.
Totally
with some corny ass jokes and some corny ass things that's going on or whatever. And I think someone said something that made sense to me. He needs to be in a tag match because he hasn't wrestled in almost 7 or 8 years, and not like a 7 or 8 years where like
10. His last official match counted at WrestleMania 32, but there was just some burial of the Wyatt family. He beat Eric Rowan in 7 seconds or something. That don't count.
Right.
So it's been 11 years.
It's been 11 years, and he hasn't wrestled. And a tag match would save him from all his discrepancies and all his holes in the ring. And Akil, you just proved my point. Shout out to you, big guy. You proved my point. Taker versus Goldberg was terrible, and we got them past their prime. Which is why we don't.
You can't compare Goldberg to Sting. No, that's like
right. Yeah, no. They would have played.
I'm not letting that ride.
Listen, bro.
I'm saying this was 8 years ago too. You think about we don't even need prime Sting. Prime Sting at 50 was still 10 times better than Goldberg at his prime before he ended Bret Hart's career.
Say it again, KK, man. Taker almost died. He almost died. That's why you don't need.
But this is Goldberg though, and this is not even.
I get it.
This is skinny leg Goldberg.
Yeah, skinny leg, little
that
leg.
That was Muay Thai Goldberg.
That wasn't Muay Thai Goldberg. Muay Thai. That
was
not Muay Thai. He had one knee pad bigger than the other. He was not right. His legs weren't right.
Muay Thai Goldberg, the reason Bret Hart couldn't wrestle no more.
I know, and that's why I didn't buy it.
That's why I'm saying you cannot compare Sting to Goldberg.
I agree. I agree. Let me put some respect on Sting's name. No, I just looked up his Starcade record. Very impressive. 11-1.
So yeah, 25 and 25.
I mean, 25-1 is crazy, but
it's crazy. But like 11-1 is nice.
11-1 is,
What was his bash at the beach? I feel like that was his. I feel like he was all right. I feel like he was posting like almost every year.
That probably wasn't one. That probably was bash at the beach was one thing. He went 12-0. He went 12-0 in that bitch. Nah, bro. Yeah, it was a different time. Real quick, we lost someone that was very close to the rest of the world. Virgil, two people. We lost Ole Anderson, who was an integral part of the original Four Horsemen. We also lost Virgil.
I did not know Virgil passed, man.
Yeah, bro.
Great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he passed away, bro. Meat Sauce Madness. That's why the name of the show is Meat Sauce Madness. One old man, Logan, got to speak with Virgil. I'll let him say his remarks and get us there. Then we'll move on to the next segment thereafter.
Oh man, rest in peace to both Ali Anderson and Virgil, also known as Soul Train Jones. Okay, put some respect on that man's name, Soul Train Jones, because one VKM made him Virgil, made him somebody manservant, and didn't put too much respect on his name like he should have. He did that to a lot of black wrestlers back in the day, but I digress. The Meat Sauce God has transitioned. I had a chance to not only buy his video game app, you know what I mean, to show some support, but I got a chance to talk to him a little bit. I was gonna try to get him to do an interview with us, but the time just didn't add up. But brother was cool, man. So I just shot the stuff with him on in the DMs on Instagram, and that was that. So from there were plenty of Meat Sauce jokes with the guys, that they unfortunately, made pause moments. But I had fun saying them, and plenty of laughs at the Virgil post talking about the meat sauce and breadsticks at Olive Garden, and it's one of the moments, man, where it reminds you of your own mortality. And it also reminds you that, we're getting older. I like to say we've become the OGs, those have gotten to a certain age. And, in this moment, we get to see people that, I ain't going to sit here and say I don't know too many that idolize Virgil or anything like that. But this was a man that was on television, that was that was been a professional wrestler. And, somebody we were often seeing on television on Monday nights, on Thursday nights, making Legends appearances here and there on WWE or whatever. Recently, he was just on AEW, like in about 2 years ago, was it? So, rest in peace, man. I get called Arn Anderson a lot by my Chauvinist Pigs buddies. They always making fun, sending Big Arn gifts and shit. But so rest in peace to those people, man. Ole Anderson and Virgil, aka Soul Train Jones. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right. It is Ole Anderson. I was wrong. It's not Ole. It's Ole.
No, it's Ole. They called him Ole on. They called him Ole on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
but it's neither here nor there. The point is, rest in peace to both of those gentlemen. One was part of the original Four Horsemen. The other one, as Logan said, should not have necessarily been pigeonholed into that. It wouldn't have necessarily wrong if they would have actually had a payoff to a degree. I mean, they tried to, but you feel a certain way seeing that. I know.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
and I don't know if this match was, named after his Meat Sauce Madness thing or not, but you got the what is it? I think it's like a mashup of Big E saying "big meaty man slapping meat" and his sauce thing. But Big Powerhouse, the Murder Hulk, and Wardlow having the meat. What is it called? Meat Madness match.
At this point, can we just end the podcast?
Pause, bro.
I'm just
not because you saying what you saying. More along the lines of just how like cringe AEW is becoming or has become.
I think that's okay.
It's like
all
some
right.
Freaky Fridays. I feel like Vince switched bodies with Tony.
Let's have this conversation because I feel like before we get to the rest of the segments, let's have this conversation.
Oh, brother, let me jump in. Excuse me for 1 second. I did want to say, I know we touched on it briefly when KG did the recap of the week. The New Day versus Imperium match was great, but it feels like there's a story being told here. Now, me as a fan, I know Big E's injury, and I know the severity of it. I know the seriousness of it, and I know the likeliness of him ever really stepping into a ring is almost bleak, slim to none at this point from what we know as fans. But I don't know if y'all been getting this feeling watching the New Day the last couple of months, but it feels like this series of downs and lows and them losing matches and things where they normally would have been the victor. It feels like it's a setup for a comeback. And it feels like it's a setup for a comeback of one of their brothers. One of their brothers being Big E.
I looked into some of it because I was like, if New Day is, let's just say New Day is going back and forth with Imperium. If they're doing that, it would only make sense if Big E comes back and wins Intercontinental Championship against Gunther. That would be awesome. Like, that would be fantastic because that was one of the first championships he held. It would be beautiful to see. But from what I've seen from like the dirt sheets, rumors, and everything else, they want Big E to come back as an announcer. They want Big E to be involved in the storylines. They want Big E to produce matches. They want Big E to do a whole bunch of things. But I think that I don't think he's able to come back. I don't think he's able to, and not because of like not because I think he just hurt his neck so badly that like the doctors have told him like, yo, bro, like you come back if it happens again at all, bro, like. And not because, like, don't get me wrong, it's a risk that everybody's going to take, and we can, and everybody can clap at Rich Holland if they want to, but it's wrestling, bro. It's not ballet. It's not something small. He's even said that. Like, it's not something that is anyone's fault. It's just wrestling. I think that overall, with these types of things and with these actual narratives that have gone on at this point, Big E can't come back. And because he can't come back, he won't come back because he won't be the same wrestler that he was when he left. Because he'd have to be like, he'd have to turn himself down. That means no more squeaking ropes. That means some of the dangerous stuff that he already does. Remember, he takes bumps. He takes bumps like no other. And even like on Ringside News, Wrestle Talk, WrestleMania, he's healthy. He can go, but he's in no hurry to go back because the doctor told him, yo, if you do it, bro, you're at risk. You know what I'm saying? So I'd love for him to come back at WrestleMania and face Gunther in the match. That would be like highlight of my WrestleMania. But I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, now here's my thing with that. I wouldn't be mad. Now this is something for him. He'd have to just come to grips with it if he's not ready to actually physically wrestle again. What's wrong with coming in, not necessarily being an announcer, be the manager of the New Day? Because they need that to kind of pick them up. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a part of the storyline where, okay, we ain't gonna rush you back to wrestle. But why not announce? Big E can talk. Who was it he brought out to the ring that boxing match? I can't remember who. Damn, I can't remember that guy's name. He brought out to the ring. But Big E on commentary will be kind of dope to me. You put him on NXT or something. Like, just I feel like he needs to be a part of that nucleus again because it felt like they're just kind of going through the motions. Like they've never dragged New Day like this storyline wise. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of wondering. They kind of in the same boat as Sammy, where it's like, yo, what are they gonna do with them come Mania? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's necessary. KG, what's your thoughts, bro?
I was thinking that same along the lines because Gunther didn't have an opponent that they could have did a singles match, but if it's slim to none, I say never because you never know. They keep saying people's careers are over. They said the same thing about Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Page, and lo and behold, who do we see? Now the Ridge Holland thing, I'm not gonna root for nobody unless they show no remorse for what they did. I did think he was building up a habit because he did it to Johnny Gargano too. The Big E thing was more egregious. He's being a good guy by saying something, but Ridge Holland, he messed up bad. And maybe they have to reevaluate sometimes when they're doing these things. And I know they do run throughs and things like that, but Big E is no small guy. You probably don't have, and Ridge Holland, they're about the same height, give or take, but probably ain't got no business doing no overhead throw unless your name is Drew McIntyre or somebody that big. Because he can barely put it off himself, but I ain't really seen Drew botch that. Because, I mean, Brockton botched at times. I think rest his soul, Brody Lee, he tried to do the same move that Ridge did, but he did it in the ring. So maybe they got to also just be mindful of certain things. With that said, I would like to see him brought back in some capacity. I'd rather see him as an in-ring competitor, but at the end of the day, he has his life to worry about. Big E is barely 40 years old, if even 40 yet. So I think he just got to do what's best for him. I'd love to see him back as a competitor, though.
He's 38.
Yeah, I figured around that age. So
he got a church of kids too, don't he?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I thought Big E had like 3-4 of them.
That's Montez.
That's Montez.
Montez out here getting
Montez got 2 kids. Went on a reality show. And has like 2 or 3 kids. Bianca Belair was thinking about getting pregnant. Montez was like, "Yeah, go ahead, do that," but she doesn't want to do that. I watched the reality show with my wife, so we watched it. I was like, "Okay, Montez, calm down with these kids now. You already got 2 or 3. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Calm down. Relax. Okay, relax." So
this is like prime Bianca too. Like, I wonder how she would be, because I know you wanted to get to something else. I'm just kind of spitballing here because Becky, since the baby, she's been
cooking.
Huh?
Cooking.
No.
Fantastic. What? What?
I've said on several occasions, I don't do it to take away from. I'm not just a fan of this Becky gimmick. This Becky, where she's at right now. Like where she's at now. Okay, cool. I'm rocking with it right now. But it was a period there. I hated her whole heel run. Her heel run was trash. I'm sorry. That whole Becky 2 belts, no, it didn't work. Big Beck's like no. What she was doing, the Seth Rollins, no. It wasn't working.
Well, they were trying to basically make her like a Conor McGregor in a sense. If you look at it, her heel run with
Becky
the fur coats,
been badass.
She should have been, but you could tell that's what they were doing with the fur coats and the sunglasses and the big time and all that and the swagger and everything. I didn't care for the gimmick, but her and Bianca prior to Rhea and Charlotte, you could argue that the women have had the best match the last 2 years at WrestleMania, depending on which. Now, personally, I would go that triple threat between Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus, but a case could be made that Rhea and Charlotte, or some people might even say Usos versus KO and Sammy. But that's a toss-up between those 3 matches. Same thing with WrestleMania Night 1, Cody versus Seth or Bianca versus Becky. But the point is, a case could be made each night the last 3 years because Bianca and Sasha, that the women have had the best match on the card.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. There's no qualm with that. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say. So I see where Logan's coming from. Gimmick wise, no, I didn't care for it. But match wise, because her and Tiffany Stratton had a banger that street fight.
That's why I said that wasn't great.
Cage match with Trish Stratus was fire too.
Yeah, surprisingly, that got me off guard. I thought that was gonna be a letdown.
Look, Tiffany Stratton is fire, but I'm just saying where she
treated the gimmick.
Yeah.
Okay. I just co-sign that. I wouldn't know. I haven't been a fan of the gimmick either.
All right, because
it's the gimmick, bro. Not her. Just overall, no. It's they.
No, I'll co-sign that.
Yeah, it's just some. You have to. Okay.
She was too hokey as a heel. She was like it was like watching Adam Cole and them in AEW when they were kissing each other in the cheek and stuff. That big time, that's just too hokey.
Oh yeah, that was atrocious. Oh my.
No, I'm just saying, like, I compare it to that. Like, if your top heel's acting like super hokey, like, if they did it occasionally, it'd be annoying. Okay, but every match is like your heels should not be coming out dressed like the Ghostbusters. First of all, the Ghostbusters were baby faces. I mean, they're the heroes of the movie.
Exactly. Could you imagine if they did that with Evolution, like, or Bloodline just bust out and just started kissing Roman while Roman's in the middle?
Well, because DX was hokey when they originally were heels with HBK and Triple H, but like they were brashes type thing. They weren't trying to. It wasn't hokey. Let's just say that it's certain things you put your finger on. It's just hokey.
Yeah, it was
the kissing on the cheek, the dressing up like the Ghostbusters. I don't care if it was Halloween. They're the heels. You couldn't think of like a heels to dress up as if you wanted to do the superhero gimmick or not, or the super villain thing. Like they could have dressed up as like some of Batman's biggest villains or something like that if they wanted to dress. If they just wanted to do a Halloween thing, I get it. I don't want to harp on that because it might not even been their call, but I feel like it was.
I'll take it back, bro. They could have did. I don't know if you guys remember the Warriors, that movie.
Yeah.
And the guys with the baseball bats.
Mm-hmm. They could have did that. Yeah.
A callback to that. Everybody still remembers that.
Yeah.
And those were the quote unquote bad guys in Warriors.
So yeah. But going back to Bianca, I think she's kind of due for a heel run anyway. I think they're setting that up. I don't like that to always be the answer, turn somebody heel, but it's only so much more she can do as a babyface if you main event at night one on your first ever WrestleMania match, won the championship, beat one of the biggest stars in the division, the second year at WrestleMania, wins the Raw Championship, so won both championships, the first two WrestleManias, retains when nobody had a retaining last year. I'm pretty sure she was the one lock. Everybody's like, yeah, Bianca losing that championship. Maybe, well, the Usos too. I think everybody knew they were losing. Roman, some people were. I think for sure Bianca was like, it had to be between her and the Usos. People had losing, and they had her win. So I'm just saying, it's like, what else can you really do as a babyface, with her in the first place? And maybe having her go off. If she decides to do that, bless her and Montez. Wish them the best, all the happiness in the world to decide to bring a youngin in this world. She's kind of due for a heel run either way, whatever happens with her. I'd
rather go heel too.
Now, what I'm interested in, and since we're still kind of on the heated table, this will be my last take on the heated table. I'll let y'all say y'all last thoughts if y'all want, or if you want to say. I wouldn't be surprised. Because she's getting too much of reactions. She's in that tweener space right now, Rhea is. I would not be surprised if she keeps that championship another year and they build Jade up. She wins the Rumble. And she takes the title. I would not be surprised because if they were already aiming for Jade versus Charlotte, we know what's got to happen this year. If Charlotte's not clear, we know it's going to be Bianca and Jade.
Okay, Cage.
Because I know Joe.
And I like that better though.
But for that, I want to say if it's a way to figure out how to keep that fresh, and I've been wanting to see an undisputed women's champion, and where Rhea is right now, I think she could fit that bill. Now, if she can remain healthy and they can keep that storyline fresh, where she's able to, you know, beat whoever the women's champion is on SmackDown. You know what I mean? Boom. I would love to see that. Now, would it be Jade or would it be Bianca? For me, it probably would be Bianca because I've been waiting to see them have that match again, like they had in Takeover down in NXT. Because they had a banger of a match down there several years ago, right before they both got called up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you have both belts on her, maybe you can have that against Bianca. But I see what you did there with Jade. I wouldn't be mad at Jade, but I'm gonna throw Tiffany in there too. Like if you're gonna do that, maybe she would be a viable person to have there as well.
Let me interrupt right fast. The Maxine Dupree situation where people are booing her at a house show. I want people to understand the following: Maxine Dupree was not slated to be a wrestler; she was slated to be a valet. So she has not been like trained on a long period of time for wrestling. I think Maxine Dupree is extremely young. It's gotta be like 23, 24, 26. Oh my God, 26. She's 26 years old. She was a dancer, cheerleader for the Los Angeles Rams, and she danced for the Phoenix Suns. She was a valet. She was not slated to wrestle at all. If you are booing her at a house show because they're making her wrestle to get better, you're an asshole. Shut up. Stop doing that. King came at a second question. He said, do you think the women's match will main event night one this year? I'll let you guys answer that. Also, one second. Also, Akil said Seth is dressing as a joke, as Joker and Riddler and Poison Ivy. So at this point,
not wrong. I will go real quick. I say yes, I can see that because although Drew and Seth have a longer backstory, I think it would be a great I think they're all about reactions outside of last year. I think they just did that to troll everybody to set up the whole Rocky 2 storyline that Triple H wanted. WrestleMania is normally one of the nights they're going to send everybody home happy. I don't think they want Drew closing the show leaving with the championship because I think he's leaving with the championship anyway. But I think they'd rather have. Well, that's what we'll get into that later then, another episode. But I think Drew's winning for sure, personally. I don't know who's going to win that, and I think the fans will be fine either way. So I think that's a better way to end night one.
I think that I think that you have to do it where you have to have night one with Io Sky and Bailey because you've given Io next to nothing, and she's given you banger of a match each time she's wrestled. When she wrestled Bianca, she gave you a banger of a match.
She has, but her championship, it's been mid, her run.
Yeah, no, you're right, bro. I'm not agreeing.
I mean, there'll be night two. They'll probably be the opener for night two because you're always going to get the crowd hot. I say Bailey and Io open up night two.
Yeah, we'll see what Bailey has together. Speaking of women, guys, you know what time it is.
Acknowledge your WCW.
That's right. Your WCW is Kaylani Jordan from WWE.
Move Tommy and Joe so they can see.
Huh? What?
They can't see the hashtag, brother.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. My bad. You're right. Move out the way. Kaylani Jordan, WWE. Rumor has it she is actually with one Carmelo Hayes.
Damn it.
Mellow
Don't miss, baby.
Mellow
don't miss, baby. Kaylani has I believe she has a gymnast background. I believe she was a gymnast hold on, I'll find it. Give me 1 second because I had it written down somewhere. She actually was a gymnast at Michigan State. She was on the gymnastics max team. She is in a current relationship with Carmelo Hayes. She's slated to be one of the next ones up there. She was on NXT Next Up or Level Up, whatever. And she's actually had a really good match with Dana Brooke and Blair Davenport. And she actually kicked ass. So they're really excited about Kehlani Jordan. If you guys get a chance to go look at Kehlani Jordan, follow her at Kehlani at Kehlani _WWE, guys. All righty. Okay.
You said she's an SU alum?
Yeah.
Also, so she learned how to punch people in the face in Draymond Green?
Yes, absolutely. That's we encourage that. So we encourage that here at the Hot Take Wrestling Podcast because that shows character. Okay. Guys, obviously No Chill with Phil is not here this evening, but we must do this anyway.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take after dark.
Right, No Chill with Phil is not here, and that is his segment. So basically, what I would like to do is what we did last time. Okay, we did an FMK. All right, here we go.
No, we're gonna be respectful. I'm making an executive call. Seeing it is that this is the last episode of Hot Take Wrestling in February of 2024, I say we give a shout out to all the beautiful Black women of wrestling, and we leave it at that. But you know, you can say what you want to say.
You know what? I do the respectful thing. Dang it!
You took the fun out of it.
You took the fun out of it, Cajun. Dang it! Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, no, we can still do one.
Akil, we had her on what 2 weeks ago?
We had her on 2 weeks ago. I never gave her the, you know what I'm saying.
And Akil, watch yourself, okay? Respectfully, that's Big Goose.
Yeah. It's just me and this NXT have all the women, Black women's. They got all the Black women's. They got all the Black women's down there. They got who is that? Kehlani Jordan.
They got Kehlani. They got
Jada Parker. Electric Lopez is Puerto Rico, right? Jakara, yep. Lash Legend,
Jakara.
Yeah.
They got a couple down there.
They're not missing, though. They're not missing down there. I'll tell you that thing.
Damn, Mello, Queen Amina, yeah, and AEW for sure.
For the record,
that's how we say that.
Queen.
Aminata, right?
Aminata. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. Cool. Guess what, Kate Heyman? You just gave us our W7 for next week. Thank you, sir. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring her up for WCW next week, Queen Aminata from AEW, and she'll be posted next week. Also, guys, Black History Month is this month. The last day is officially tomorrow. We appreciate you guys for supporting us throughout this with these WCWs. We do understand that without the Black women, there is no world. Black women run the world. Black women are the world. We love Black women because God made.
Kill say put her every week.
I mean, I could. Do I even have the picture of?
No, you probably got the other one loaded up.
I got the other one. I got the milk back.
People. Joe's a busy man here. Okay, behind the scenes, getting the WCWs right. All right.
I got. I didn't do my due diligence, and I didn't really give Jada Parker the proper respect that she deserves. For the record, I really did.
Good job, sir.
I did an okay job, but look now, look that right there is just like that. Listen,
is it me or does she have the Hurt Business outfit ready to go already?
Exactly, bro.
That better not be Sin Cara's bot shirt she's got in the background,
bro. Shouts out to Josh Lips on Piece of Journey. Thank you for joining the live. Appreciate it. Listen to me right now. I don't know what is going on with NXT lately in these signings, but y'all gotta chill, okay? Y'all gotta chill. Y'all killing me. Jada Parker was on another podcast, and they were asking her what move could she use in the bedroom and also in the ring? And she said there's a move called the bear hug. You take that information what you will with it. You take with that information what you will with it, and we'll go from there. Guys, thank you so much for watching the Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. Please follow us at Hot Take Wrestling on TikTok, at Hot Take Wrestling on Instagram, at Wrestling Take on Twitter, at Hot Take Wrestling Podcast on Twitch, at NMGTV Network, as well on the YouTubes. Also, guys, you can contribute to the podcast. Myself, I am the editor. Ken Gardner, who is Kenny the Machine. Ill Will, who is Clutch Uso. Old Man Logan, who is Old Man Logan. No Chill with Phil, who is not here tonight. And Joe Freeland are also producers. At Jay Lozada31 and at Low R, at __Low _ are also the women voices of Hot Take Wrestling. We greatly appreciate them as well. If you have any questions or want to go over anything with us or want to talk to us, follow us on the Discord right here. Okay, the wrestling community at Us and She Talks Wrestling, who will be on next week for our episode after Revolution and moving forward from there. Guys, final thoughts and give us your outro, please.
Final thoughts. King Cayman said he need his credits. King Cayman, we got some ideas, buddy. We're gonna talk to you off air, all right? Final thoughts, man. We the ones, not the twos. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Kenny the Machine.
Thank you for everyone that's joining us live tonight. We appreciate you as always and being active and contributing all your thoughts, questions. We want to actually probably, that's one thing we could aim towards, being a little bit more active. At least I can. They see y'all all the time. I'll be in my own headspace because I try to be so fast that I'm in the bed before the light goes out.
I want to pause that, but I don't know how to pause that.
I don't know if you can pause it.
I feel like I should be able to. I feel like as a human, I should be able to because my human right.
He literally said he was faster than light into the bed.
I don't even know how. I don't know how to feel about that.
Like before you could even say anything, he bowed. He in bed, like sleep.
King Cayman's final thoughts are much love and love wrestling everywhere.
Cheers, King.
Cheers to Cayman. Cheers to Cayman.
Well said,
now,
King Cayman.
Guys, for the record, everyone is coming to my home to watch WrestleMania. We are debating on whether or not going live. We're probably not going to go live. But what you can do is March 3rd, we might be watching Revolution on the Discord. So you might be able to watch it there. Also, if there's anything going on with the WWE, please look out for us to go live on Instagram, TikTok, or any of the above. Our Twitch. We are working on video gaming on our Twitch. Essentially getting the cameras, getting everything ready. Also, we're going to have some guests coming up. Now, how soon? I don't know. I'm not even going to give you dates. There's so many people that we're working with that we have to figure out what's what. What I will tell you is the following. She Talks will be on next week. We had a show with her, me, and Old Man Logan. It went pretty well. So we'll probably have her on that next week. Also, we got to figure out how to get the King Cayman thing going because I feel like that's the thing that's coming up real nice and real ready too. We got guests coming up, guys. Listen, after WrestleMania, I'll tell you this. After WrestleMania and everything is said and done, that's probably be the most consistent time we'll have guests because right now we're cooking so much with so many things that we got a lot of stuff going. All right. With that being said, you guys are the real stars. You guys are the real troopers. Happy Black History Month. Enjoy yourselves. Be great people. Love on your black women. Be good. Bye, guys.